everyone. So tonight we're going to start talking about how to open up your market and also basically how to end the month strong. And we're going to have a few guest speakers tonight. So Mercedes, my mom Marie, and Lauren will talk too about how to open up your market and how to make the most out of inviting friends and family and not relying on friends and family, but how to incorporate them in your journey, okay? So does that make sense? We're going to first talk about, who wants to go first? Anyone? No? Doesn't matter. Lauren? Okay, you want to go first, Lauren?
Oh. There you go.
Okay.
I unmuted myself.
So I'll ask questions for you. So Lauren, if you guys don't already know, she kind of has an online Fit Fam that's kind of a free group for everyone that's ongoing. It's an open group. I think it's a great idea. I'm a part of it. And it's a great way for her to kind of rally her troops, people that are interested in what she's doing, and then she'll post challenge group invites in there. So Lauren, can you share a little more about this Fit Fam? Oh, she's frozen. Lauren. I'll give it a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Oh, come on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
No?
You're frozen.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're good.
You guys are all fine, so I couldn't tell if I was frozen or not. Okay. So I just made, my house is awful. Okay, we're good?
We're good.
Okay, so I made a Facebook group, and I just invited a ton of my friends. Like, if people post about, like, wanting to get healthy or looking for a recipe for something, I just add them to this group.
Oh, she's breaking up a little bit. It's a free online group she's doing, and I really love the idea. Highly suggest it.
Open, public.
Sorry, Lauren,
Anyone
you
can
froze a
join.
little.
It doesn't require me to, like, approve anybody or anything. So there's no, like, oh, come on.
That's okay. It's okay.
All right. Now
We
can you hear
freeze
me?
on you. We can
Is
hear
that
you.
better?
Yes, much
All
better.
right. I opened my bedroom door. Go figure.
Okay,
right.
So it's an open group. Do like friends add friends, or do you encourage that?
Yeah, like anyone can join. People I don't know, people I do know, friends, random people, like whatever. Anyone can join. And I post like super random things in there. Like I found a whole article about like homemade salad dressing, and so I posted it because salad dressing's awful for you. So like just like super, I just post random things. Like if I see someone who like wants crock pot recipes, like I'll post a few in there and add them to the group.
Good idea. Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, just like if I see like that people want something, I'll like post it in there and then add them to the group so they can get it.
I really like that. So have you had good success then posting about challenge groups in that group?
So, because some of the people in the group are people who are already in my challenge group.
Oh, okay.
And I add them in there just as like
an added resource.
Yeah.
Okay, and my question is, how often do you post in there? Is it not really consistent, just whenever, really?
Yeah, just like if I read a random article and I really like it, I'll try and like remember to post it in there.
I like that.
I probably should post in there more often, but
hey, if it's working for you.
Yeah.
So, what's your group called again?
Fit and Fab.
Fit and Fab. Okay, I love it. So from there, guys, if you ever want to do something like that, I highly recommend. Lauren's been telling me about it for almost the past year. It's such a great idea. So the open Facebook group, anyone can add anyone at any time. It's not a challenge group or anything. It's just kind of an online Fit Fam group. That's something you can always post on Instagram about and add people from Instagram on there, or any other network. So thank you for sharing, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mercedes, do you want to go next? Let me just unmute you. All right, Mercedes, do you want to go?
Sure.
Okay, so guys, Mercedes is going to talk to us more about Instagram. We during our 101 last week, she just came up with something that really stuck out to me. She's like, you know what? Do you know what changed Instagram for me? And I was like, what? She's like, I stopped looking at my followers as prospects or challengers, and I just looked at them as friends. You know, that's something that's a really great way to look at it and open up more doors and more relationships instead of just thinking of your end goal and wanting these people to convert to challengers. No, just be their friends like we talked about last week. So Mercedes, you can, take the stage and how you go about that. And you also did a really great post on in our team page today too.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, I'm a lot about building relationships, and I'm not the salesy type. I just want to be someone that they can come to me. If I want to be like, if they're interested in any type of fitness or getting healthy, I want them to think about me. But at the same time, in Instagram, when I approached Instagram, I thought, okay, this is my platform to meet people and expand my contact list. So I don't know why, but I expected that every post I would get someone interested. And it's not like that. Recently I found out, and I used to like everything and not do a lot of comments, which to me was my biggest mistake, because I would think about something. Let's say I was scrolling and I saw one of the girls, she had pretty makeup on, but I would be literally too lazy to say, hey, I like your makeup. But then I switched it around. Instead of just liking it because it's the easy way out, I would comment on things. And whatever crossed my mind, I would just start commenting on that. Yesterday, I commented on some girl who I have been following, and I just said, those chips are awesome. She replied back, that was my first time trying it, and then she followed me. Or whatever crosses my mind, whether it's the makeup or the dress or even their artwork, because some of the people I find are so talented. So whatever, instead of just liking it, I'm commenting more. And I feel that that's helping me build a more solid relationship and trust with my followers.
I like that. And so engaging with them in that way is really helping you build relationships, and in turn, then you do sometimes then follow, like, do you guys become Facebook friends after like a bunch of talking, or how do you go about that? Do you usually just keep it on Instagram, or do you move the conversation to email?
I definitely try to move the conversation to Facebook just because it's easier for me to chat there most of the time.
Yeah.
And I ask them if they have a Facebook or an email. Usually they have a Facebook, and we just find each other one way or another there. And I actually had one of my customers this month is someone who I think I have been following for about a year. Wow. And I commented on something, probably her makeup, and she commented back. And it was just kind of a back and forth. And then she's like, hey, do me a favor, add me on Facebook. That same day, within the hour, she added me, and she's like, hey, are you a Beachbody coach? And of course I answered. And within the hour of her adding me, she had bought a challenge pack. And this is someone I have been building a relationship with for the past year. However, I've been more active on her page and commenting within the month or so.
I love it. I love how you do that. And also, real quick, Chelsea had a really great question on the team page today, and she was recently asking how to message people you don't know well. And Mercedes had a really great answer back to her, saying just basically like she lets the conversation be natural. Just talk. When you're meeting someone in person, you just end up talking to them. You don't really second guess it. So try to do the same too when you're talking to people. That's all it's about. And Mercedes, what was your answer back to her? I forgot what you said. Do you remember?
Yeah, pretty much just told her to be natural about it. If it was because they had someone in common, just to reach out and be like, hey, I saw that we have so-and-so in common. Do you live in the same town? Or what it may be. And they could say, come back at you and say yes, or, where did you go to school? Or, whatever it may be. Anything, you just have to flow with the conversation. They could be like, oh, no, actually, yes, I know her, but I live in another state. So be interested in that person and be like, oh, how is it over there? I've never been, or whatever the case may be. But, yeah, something. I just go with the flow, and I'm natural. I'm sorry?
Do you have anything else to add before we move on?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. Great work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I just want to add a little bit on to Mercedes. And so I know after we do get conversation flowing with people, sometimes then we struggle with inviting from that conversation being built after we do build a relationship. And I find for me, a great way for me to invite once I have this great conversation and relationship built with people, I'll be messaging them. Sometimes they'll end up even liking my my challenge picture before I even invite them. And so then I'm like, hey, like, you know, the picture you just liked, have you ever considered joining a challenge group? A lot of times if you're liking all their posts, they're going to be interested in what you're doing as well. Even if they've never mentioned it in the conversation, they may be scared. I know for me, I was scared to like mention to someone that I wanted help. And so it took for me seeing a post that said like, do you need help with this? And then that's when I took action. So also when you're in a conversation, you can always say like, hey, by the way, like once you have this conversation built, hey, by the way, have you ever considered joining a challenge group? I've been thinking of you to ask you to join my next group or something like that. Or by the way, I saw that you're posting like healthy recipes. Have you ever thought about joining a challenge group? You know, it's a online community where we share recipes, where it's a group setting, something like that, and just tie it into your conversation and be natural with it. You don't need to use the scripts that we have. They're there if you get stuck, but just be you and be natural. And that's what people will be attracted to. Like I said last week in our call. Okay. And so now we're going to go on to my mom. Let me unmute you. Okay. Are you unmuted?
Yep.
Okay. So my mom's really great at attracting people through Instagram. Literally every day I'm like, what are you doing? She'll be like sitting on her phone in the corner and I'm like, what are you doing? And she'll be like, I'm talking to someone from Instagram. And I'm like, another person, you need to teach me your ways. And seriously, always. And so she has like diabetes associations following her, like thyroid associations. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, Mom, what do you do on Instagram? Oh, Dad's making a little cameo. So what do you do on Instagram? How do you connect with people?
I go to some of the hashtags that I have: diabetes, fighting diabetes, hypothyroidism, and I go and I like certain pictures. You know, like I don't just like a picture to like it. I look, see if it's interesting. I like it. A lot of times I do comment on it. There's no sense in just liking the picture. I always comment on anything I
And real quick, I remember we were talking about it the other day. I was telling her like meaningful comments. You know, we all get those people that are going through our pictures like, nice pic. And I'm like, that's like an upset like post that I just posted about, you know, or like nice physique. And it's like a picture of my food. Make sure they're meaningful comments. I know yours are meaningful, but you know what I'm saying. So you comment on a lot of them and engage that way.
Yeah. And it's not always about like, say if it's somebody who has diabetes, we may talk a little bit about that, but you know, this one, and they're of all ages, they young girls, guys, you know, older people. And I'm also in some of the groups on Facebook. So sometimes they get a connection there, but most of the time on Instagram, if I'm talking to them, then I will bring it over to Facebook and have a more one-on-one messages.
My question is, when do you find is the right time for you to connect on Facebook? Where is it in the conversation? Right in the beginning? After a bunch of messages?
Well, if it depends. If they want to have some information from me about my diabetes and how I've been able to get it under control, instead of going back and forth a bunch of messages, we'll bring it to Facebook then.
Okay.
Sometimes we, you know, like it's just more of a conversation, a casual conversation first, and then they get more into like asking something about like how did you do this? And then that's when I bring it over to Facebook.
Okay, awesome. And I like how you were saying with diabetes and thyroid, a lot of times we need to remember that we all have a niche and target market, and that might be a little technical, but it's not. Just think to yourself, why did you get involved? What were you drawn to this opportunity with? What has improved since you joined Beachbody in a challenge group? So whether you have thyroid disease, diabetes, celiac disease, PCOS, depression, anxiety, anything, whatever it is, or just anything really, body image, people have eating disorders, whatever it is that drew you in, and that you know you can relate to people with, then use that to relate to other people with and start a conversation, because if you've been through it, someone else has too. Remember that. So anything else, Mom? How many pictures do you try to like a day? Like, try. Or a week?
Okay, at first it was just whenever I got time to do it during the day, but now I actually try to put at least, you know, maybe half hour at a time, because I don't have like an hour at a time, but like a half an hour and go through and like a whole bunch of pictures. But always do it with a comment, and then I will also follow up on people that I had been talking to. You know, a girl I've been talking to for like a week or so. I knew she lived in New York, but she was talking about the storm in New Jersey, and I'm like, oh, I said, I thought you lived in New York. She goes, I'm visiting my mom in New Jersey. So, I don't know, probably like 80 or 90 a day. I've upped it.
I've upped that too, and we were talking about it the other day. Someone on Team Triceps was telling Sarah Try that if she has no time to do anything else in the day, she has a list of people every month she wants to reach out to, just to talk to, not even just invite, just to talk to, and she'll talk to 2 people per day if she doesn't have time to do anything else, and she'll like 100 pictures on Instagram. And I know sometimes we're like, well, we don't have time to do that. But just think of how many times we find ourselves on Instagram or Facebook just scrolling. Use that time to like things, okay? And like engage with people. Anything else, Mom?
Nope. But
Okay,
I think
awesome.
like half an hour is like a good, you know, sometimes I take other time and just like scroll through things, but half an hour good for, you know, like looking at a picture, trying to think of what I'm going to say. So you can get, you know, anywhere from like.
I've been doing it in the morning or at night when I'm like tired and laying down in bed and I'm like not ready for bed. Or even in the morning when I just wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait another 5 minutes before I work out so I'm awake. I'm like going through liking everything.
But I have noticed a lot more people then start following you.
Yes. I would say in the past week, I've had over like 20 plus followers from that. So I highly
I'm sorry, I didn't
recommend.
mean to cut you off. If you like something and even you put like a little comment, sometimes people don't get right back to you. But if they notice that you like their page, then they'll go right to yours and like it too. Not
Like follow.
They'll start following you. That's it. Follow you.
Yes,
Yep.
Definitely. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up the call so it doesn't go too late. And lastly, so those are really great tips. I also want to recommend whether you're finishing January strong, which you guys should be, or starting February strong, make a list of just people you want to talk to. That's it. 50 to 100 people you want to talk to throughout the month. And sometimes you might be like, hey, I don't want to talk to that many people. Guess what? People are not going to ask you for help unless you talk to them first. I would say 95% of the time. I've had people in high school that we did not talk to, people that were like enemies of mine. And because I started a conversation with them, they trusted me then to help them. Just because I didn't hold grudges or anything. So just reconnect with people. And also, so I wanted to talk today about really expanding your market, because I know a lot of us, we're like, well, we don't want our friends and families to get, turned off by Beachbody. And I'm like, well, you don't have to invite them. You have how many other people in your life to invite? All these new people you're adding to your network. I would say make a goal every week to add to your network of people, because you don't want to not add people and then find yourself coming up short. Okay. So like I said before, we're going to start sharing our business activity trackers instead of in a message. We're going to do it in our team page so everyone can join in on it. And tracking has really helped me, even if it's just tracking my workouts and my progress. I don't want to post it if I've only worked out once in the week. You know what I mean? So it's really holding me accountable too, and everyone else. And so it's in the files page, and I'm actually created another one. I'll upload it. It's on my mom's computer. I'll upload it in there, business activity tracker. And lastly, as the Team Cup is really coming up close, we have how many more days? 4 days until the end of the month. So push and finish the month strong. I'm still not at my goal yet, which is something I'm normally already at, and that's okay. I'm not stressing out. We can all do it as long as we believe we can. So the Team Cup's coming up. If you are not on a team and you want to be, get plugged in on a team. We still have, I think, 2 spots left on a team, and we're going to be signing up, I think, tomorrow. So let's get going on that. And the Team Cup, again, is just really to work as a team, and you gain points by Success Club and rank advancement. And you earn prizes. You just have a lot of fun. You work together as a team, get to know people more, and it's a really great time. I think that's it tonight. Thanks for bearing with me. I don't feel very good.
Wait,
Yeah.
do we have to do anything to sign up for the cup, or do you register like the whole
I
team?
will register the whole team.
Okay,
So you'll be good to go.
perfect.
It's easier because I'll have everyone's I have everyone's coach ID in my online office, so I can just like look it up and sign everyone up. And I think that's it. Does anyone have any questions? Let me just stop recording.